Hello, everybody. It is I, Claude Bowles, henceforth, according to Mr. Hovind, known as Cloudy Bowels. Yes, that wasn't actually a bad name to come up with. It sort of surprised me, his ingenuity, because normally he just repeats the same old jokes all the time. But anyway, and now that he's been banned from the YouTube, he is. He is on Rumble, and he's got this channel there, spouting the same stuff and doing everything to avoid giving straight answers about real issues, doing everything he can to ruin the education of young minds that somehow think he's a bit of an authority on science, more so than the vast majority. Not just vast majority, the vast majority of real scientists. So the Claude thought, oh, well, he would keep up his holding Hovind to account. Somehow Hovind tries to twist all this and make himself a martyr. No, I don't hate him. I hate the things he preaches, particularly about science. In fact, I don't hate him preaching religion either. That's fine. That's perfectly fine if he wants to believe that. But when he manipulates the meanings of words, such as a religion, to define evolution as a religion, I'm afraid that goes too far for the Claude, or the Cloudy, as he's known. In fact, makes the bowels move in some ways. So, yes, the Bowels is on fire, to make sure that people know the truth. Wonder people are not on because, funnily enough, I've forgotten to put the link up. I'm going to do that now. So here we go. Here goes the link. Yeah. So that's my motivation. It's nothing to do with hating Kent. It's hating his message. As those people like Kent are so fond of saying, they don't hate the sinner. They hate the sin. So that's right back at you, Kent. So then today, Big Bad Mama puts up a thing where Kent has been infesting Sandra Hovind's YouTube. Hello, Big Bad Mama. Not YouTube, Facebook. Hello, Big Bad
Hi,
Mama.
Claude. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. I thought I'd just do a little short show because I'm fond of those.
Sounds good.
Yeah, short Claude, short. Although I did say the other day on someone else's channel that I was 6'6".
Wow.
Well, 6 foot in the body and 6 somewhere else. But anyway, and even that whole thing might be an exaggeration. I was just doing it for fun.
Were you on the PGs?
Whose show was that? Oh, I forget whose it was. But whoever it was, they didn't bite. They missed my
Your humor.
They do. Cloudy Bowels. And
That's pretty funny.
I'm pretty sure on Missing Mod I used the name Cloudy Bowels, but she still said Bowls. So that ruined my attempt at humor. She read the cloudy bit right.
I wonder if Kent came up with that or somebody else came up with that name. I mean, it seems pretty creative for him, but of course he does that with creepy blind man. He calls
Yeah, I think he's going to. I mean, to be honest, I thought at least it's new. It's not one of the old jokes,
right?
That he just uses every time. So anyway, I went on. I'm not a member of Facebook, but you can still have a look around. And his wife has several, Sandra Princess Hovind, and just one was Sandra Hovind. I'm wondering if Princess is her middle name.
I think so.
Wow, it's a strange middle name. I don't think I would, if I had a son, would I call him King or,
Well, what about Prince, the singer?
Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, it just seems weird to me. Seems like setting yourself up for failure or failed marriages. But anyway, we'll move on there quickly. And then I see he's Kent on one of them. I don't know if it was the princess one or the other one. He puts a thing up. Smile, Lydia. God has great plans for your life.
Yeah, where was that? That's
That was
Sandra's
on,
daughter, right?
yes, it was 3 days old, and it might have been on just the straight Sandra Owen channel. You remember,
Okay.
he's got the Sandra Princess one, and he's got the Sandra.
Right.
She's got the
And
Sandra
one of
Owen.
them she uses, and one of them she doesn't really.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, it's so confusing, these multiple things, and trying to look them all up. But
That
I
was a
mean,
pretty strange message that he left, though. I mean, they call that love bombing. Have you heard that term?
I haven't actually, no, just photo bombing. But yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, yeah, because it's so over the top and schmaltzy. Yeah,
It's according to Psychology Today, love bombing is an attempt to influence another person with over-the-top displays of attention and affection. And you notice he did that on a public page for everybody to see. He didn't just send that to her.
No, privately. So
his ego.
On that, and he's also got a comment about something straight. There's one of those pages has the comment from his sister-in-law, supposedly.
Huh.
Yeah. What's her name?
On one of her pages, Diane.
No, on one of Sandra's pages. It's only it's not very far back in the search, so you can have a look later. Yeah, and he makes some comment. He doesn't query what she's said. It's the one that she'd put around in a few places. So looks as though he's, as you say, by that bumming, he's trying to get somewhere where she's going to see. Maybe she's cut off the phone conversations. I don't know. Like, it's funny to put it on.
Yeah, that's true.
That is interesting. And then on his Rumble, he's having a go at me again, and he says something like, well, what? Sandra and Ken having a coffee with my wife? Well, what the unusual thing is that clearly she's not at DAL having the coffee. She's clearly cleared out. We know that. We know that from a very truthful source. So he once again trying to play that whole thing down. So I do think seriously he wants her back.
Oh yeah.
He's doing anything he can, to avoid the daily trip to Mount Wank or whatever, monthly probably.
I noticed on the Facebook post he made, it's only got 2 thumbs up. So, and her posts get quite a few thumbs up. So her friends and family aren't very enthused.
No. Yeah, I think they must be well aware. Yeah, and I mean, if it got to the point, if we analyze this like, psychologist that I'm not, if it got to the point where she actually up sticks and leaves, then it's been serious before then. This is not just suddenly, oh, I'm going to have a spat and leave, is it? Most couples have a fight of some sort occasionally.
I don't think people show up with a U-Haul and take all their belongings away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what she did from what Joseph said.
So we had ample opportunity to have, like, all this love bombing could have happened well before and face to face, couldn't it?
Yeah.
And a change of behavior. We know from the first wife that he doesn't change his behavior, because you remember that.
No, he wanted her to change her behavior.
Yeah, perhaps it's you should change yours. I'm right. And then she goes, yes, sir. And she's a broken woman. So
you could tell she was fed up at that point, and that's just what she did to
everybody else.
What's the word? Mollify, or to?
Yes, that's a good word.
Because I mean, he likened himself to George Washington in that same recording and said Martha Washington was perfectly happy to support George while he was off at war. And it's ridiculous.
Wow, that's in that recording? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's the same prison recording.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, that is his mode of operation.
Yeah.
And then, clearly something's up with Lydia, which I thought was going to happen. To be honest, I thought that would end before Sandra because, she's a teenage girl. They don't like intrusive people. He would be the sort that would burst into your bedroom. Well, we know that from throwing water at the girls, So he would not be a good stepdad, I think. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Even if there's nothing happened, and I'm not saying that it did, but he'd just be creepy, or it would come across
imagine
that
her
way.
living at Dinosaur Adventureland too. I
Yeah.
mean, he would be creepy and controlling, but just to be a teenage girl at Dinosaur Adventureland,
Yeah.
I mean, with all these
man cave dwellers.
Yeah. I mean, it must have been pretty strange for her.
Yeah.
Wasn't the son there too? Or
Yes, he was. He's the one that because he said we're raising funds for our son to go to Bible college.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're selling this piece of shit car.
It didn't even run, did it?
No, it was something.
It's missing parts. You just have to come get it. And it's like, yeah, somebody's going to really buy that.
Oh my God. So he came up with it. You can't make some of the stuff up that he does. It's like unintentional comedy gold.
Right.
It is so great.
And his followers don't see the humor in any of it. But I mean, it's not what they're going through is not funny. But
no.
It's well deserved. I mean, I'm on Sandra's side, and I just think that that's not a good place for her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I do defend Sandra because there's been plenty of comments saying, oh, she saw what happened to Cindy. She saw what happened to Mary and to the first one. Look, love is blind. I should know being a Frenchman, Love is blind. People, if they're in love, they put aside the most horrible things because they believe that they can either change their man or that he wasn't as bad as all that and they love him. So yeah, it's very sad. Yeah.
That was an interesting comment from Justin there.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I'd say there's a little dig there. Yeah. And to be honest, I wouldn't know. I mean, I think the least you can say is that he's quite creepy, in front of young girls. And he's always asking them if this is your husband or this is your wife. And this is younger kids again.
Right.
And I think when she got there, that was 3 or 4 years ago. She was young. So she would probably look at him as a hero. Then when she gets to that teenage stage, she's going to think he's an idiot, Oh,
yeah.
That's what happens in the best.
And, Sandra didn't see what was going on with Cindy and Joe. And
no.
I mean, she only hears the side of it probably that Kent wants her to hear. She wasn't around for the reality of what they put Cindy through.
That's right. And when Joseph spilled the beans about les haricots verts, as they say in France, les haricots verts, about the truth, he was telling the truth. He was telling the truth. And, we've had some arguments online, and I disagree. He doesn't always, in my view, the most logical person. Well, not logical at all. But anyway, I put that aside because I like his honesty.
Right.
I don't think Kent is honest. And, so there's going to be a hell of a lot of explaining to do if she comes back, Oh, why did she bring the 16 grand back? which he,
who knows?
Kent must have started that business.
That's what I think. I mean, Joseph was telling the truth as he saw it,
Absolutely. Yeah.
And so that part of it, he had only heard through Kent. I'm sure. I mean, I don't think Joseph had anything to do with the donations or the store or anything like that.
In fact, Joseph is very loyal to Kent, and he's back there now because Kent just said, was it today on great to have you back, Joseph. Now, I think it meant more than just having returned the car, the van, the church van. I think he's back there again. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not. I
Like he
don't
left.
know. Yeah. Well, he was living in the area, and I think he was still attending church services there
Right.
because I think his wife still lives there. Or no, she
Ah.
doesn't live. She doesn't live there, but she works there.
Oh. Well, they can't be far away then, perhaps. You know?
Yeah,
Perhaps
they're
one
not
of
far
Cindy's
away.
houses.
They're in Repton.
All right. God, it sounds like a dinosaur repton to me, you know. This great
Right.
repton descended from the sky. Or rectum, one or the other. Either way, not particularly good. Nerdy Trucker says, I remember Kent talking about going on vacation to Texas. Okay, and I don't know that maybe Sandra just simply wants a vacation this whole time, but Kent is too stubborn to spend money on something besides the AL. I think that's a very nice thought, but I don't think that's the case. It's more than that. Yeah.
That doesn't explain the U-Haul.
Yeah, Billy, you should be writing stuff for Kent. I know you don't. No, you better. But that's quite a good story. I wonder if Kent will latch on to that. I better get it off the screen quick.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a possibility she could go back to him. I mean,
yes. Well, you know, and if so, good luck to her. But you know, can't say she hasn't been told. Is Joseph the one that said she took off with 16K and blame her for being unchristian? Yes, he is the one that said that. Yeah, yeah. I believe. And you know what Joseph was, he's very loyal to Kent. So Kent would have told him that. There's just no doubt in my view.
He was the tech guy for a long time.
Yeah. I don't know how he was, because the tech has been bad for years now, and always about to be fixed.
It was worse before he was there.
Oh, really? Okay.
When Matt Powell was running it.
All right.
Oh God, the sound and the picture was just. When I went there, they were filming the stream using a point and shoot camera. It wasn't even like a video camera or anything. I mean, it was just a regular little point and shoot video. Well, look, I was surprised. I thought they would have had some kind of state-of-the-art equipment.
Would you like to sponsor the BAL? Oh, right. Well, I think he's wasted so much. I mean, you know, now I'm no expert in this, but I do know a bit about business. The cost to the ministry or to Kent or the business of constantly buying and selling vehicles has to be huge, doesn't it?
That has to be a net loss. I mean,
yeah, you know, in other words, he didn't plan anything. Suddenly bought all these side-by-sides, or Cindy paid for most of those. Then next thing he's doing something else, and then the next thing he's doing Jeeps, and then the next thing he wants an enclosed Jeep. So every time, and buying farm equipment.
Then there's the thing to dredge the lakes.
Hey, Peter.
Hello.
Good to see you.
I detected some bowel movements, so I thought
it's Cloudy Bowels.
Cloudy Bowels.
Check what's up.
Oh my God!
You're never going to be able to ditch that after Ken called you Cloudy Bowels.
I actually quite like it. So.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I don't mind, because what the funny thing is, you know, and all those things and all his, you know, he has his flying monkeys that come and attack me, but not one of them contradicts anything I've said. No, not one of them. It's all
just
an
personal
attack.
Attacks.
Yeah. So yeah, I find that quite interesting that. Yeah, they don't say, "Oh, you're wrong on this and you're wrong on that." No, it's just to attack me.
you have the accent. You have the posh accent, posh friends.
Well, you have the wonderful Dutch accent.
Yeah, but I can't compete with French.
I mean, not for the ladies. I know, but nobody can. Yeah. Oh, here we have Miss Outcast is coming on. She must be wrenching herself away from soot. Hello.
Hi. He's
Hello.
probably asleep.
Yeah, he is.
We needed some deviance in here.
Yes.
Oh,
I
my
saw you were
goodness.
live and I was like, damn it, I'm sure he's been going on. And as soon as I get there, it's like, oh, bye,
No, it's
Claude. Have
well,
a nice night.
I started half an hour ago, so we've probably got half an hour to go. You know that we
Good.
don't like to be too. So yes, it's not just goodbye.
Oh, once we're in luck, deviant.
Well, I don't know if you'd call it that.
What?
Mostly when I join, then it's your time to finish. So
Yes. Well, you've got to be on the balls. They've got to be on the balls, as they say.
on the balls.
And when the
The
bowels
moment there's-
moves,
The moment
bowels
there's bowel movement, you need to respond.
I should really write a symphony, Claude Bowles movement in
Yes.
vitamin C.
So
In B minor,
I've been,
BM.
I've been looking at Sandra's page. That message is still up.
Yeah.
So either she hasn't been on Facebook yet, or
Right.
we don't know what's going on.
I thought she would have got rid of that message, but
I thought so too.
yeah.
Or she doesn't mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, do check the other, there's the Sandra Princess, Hovind, and there's also just a straight Sandra Hovind where he put that comment up about Lydia,
Chlamydia?
Lydia, the daughter. He put a message saying on Sandra's Facebook, on one of them, saying 3 days ago, "Smile, Lydia. God has great plans for your life."
Oh God.
Actually, me and Sut were discussing the message from Hovind to Sandra, and like, because he also mentioned some days ago, like in a passing, that he just had lunch and coffee with Sandra.
Right.
And that struck me as so weird, because Hovind oftentimes talk about what he's doing during the day, like, oh, I went up at 5 and I and then I took a nap. I don't think I've ever heard him say, oh, I was at home, me and Sandra was watching a movie, or me and Sandra had dinner, or
Nope.
breakfast. Never.
Nope.
And all of a sudden this comes, and then the message to her Facebook. And I think he's actually doing, how do you say, catching 2 flies with one, is the way we say it in Sweden. With one knock. He's trying to manipulate her.
Yeah, I called it love bombing, which is
Yeah.
a psychological tactic.
Oh yeah,
Speaking
absolutely.
of love bombing, when Sandra left, Ernie Land posted that the best thing you can have in life is a faithful woman.
Oh, really?
Hovind posted something on Sandra's page today, and Ernie Land said, "My bride's birthday today."
Oh, so he made a comment under Sandra's.
No.
Under Hovind's post.
No, on his own page.
Oh, on his own page.
He posted a picture of his wife, and apparently they're married now for 25 years. Something along those lines. When they met, she was a 25-year-old blonde bombshell. And we lived in a trailer, slept on a mattress on the floor, watched a black and white TV, and drove a ragged up old car. I did my part to get us into a nice home, drive a new car, sleep in a king-size bed, watching a big color screen TV. And she replied, well, you go find that 25-year-old blonde bombshell, and I'll do my part to get back into that trailer, sleeping on the mattress, sleeping on the floor.
This was on Ernie Land.
This is on Ernie Land's page.
He used to be the Kent's money guy. I reckon he still is behind the
I think
scenes.
I'm pretty sure he still is, but it's weird. Hovind posts up. Sandra leaves, and he posts something about the best thing you can have is a good wife. And now Hovind posts on Sandra's page, and then he posts a pretty romantic thing about his own wife, and they've apparently been together for quite a long time. So I don't know. Is he trying to poke at Hovind? Because it looks like that to me, at least.
They're sort of pretty good friends, though. Who knows?
Well, it is her birthday today. I mean, it's probably that's maybe why he's posting it.
Yeah, but shouldn't he
I'm
then
looking at
be
it right
posting
now.
it on her page? If she has one? I don't know.
Maybe she does.
Justin here says Kent liked the message Kent left on Sandra's Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's an ignoramus, isn't he? You like your own message.
Yeah.
Oh God! I'll keep putting these up that come the comments.
And
that
that's
come
true.
in.
He did
Yes.
like his own message. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
Soot pointed that out to me too.
That's hilarious.
Check out the other channel of Sandra's too while you're looking on there, and see if it's still. Yeah.
That's still up, but there's nothing new there.
Yeah.
Nothing since 2023 on that one.
Oh
No, the last post was from January 9th, 2024.
yeah.
Oh.
My handsome king got up and went into the store and got me morning coffee.
Oh, 22.
Well,
yeah, right.
I do suppose that if you're Sandra Hovind, it's better to get morning coffee than morning wood from Kent. But I don't know.
My God.
Who am I to judge?
Nice callback.
I couldn't possibly comment. I don't understand these things. Oh, here we go. Look, even in Kent's love message, he has to talk about himself in DAL. Bad
Yes.
enough she had to beg for donations from the ministry on her birthday. Oh, really? Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's a sign of a good narcissist. Always talk about yourself. Always make it about yourself. And then
Yes.
and then go back later and like what you said yourself. Probably it.
E-begging. Oh my goodness. So, yep, I don't know. We could run a sweepstake, is that what we call it, on the eventual outcome of this, but I don't know what's going to happen. It just gets more and more bizarre.
It is weird that Kent hasn't replied yet, because the amount of Sandra Hovinds that were in the chat right after she left and all got banned, you'd think that he would come up with an explanation, because it should be fairly obvious to his followers now that he's single again.
Yeah, he's had a date with his wife for coffee.
Yeah,
because he hasn't done the annulment yet.
Yeah.
Well, somebody made the point that he maybe was making this comment as something that he could say later. I didn't leave
definitely.
her; she left me.
Mhm.
You know, the typical formula that he does.
And which is true. His wife keeps leaving him, but that's because of his actions, which is the part that he always leaves out.
Yeah. I mean, if it were me, I wouldn't be bragging that all my wives left me instead of the fact that I left them.
Right.
I mean, it does say more about me than it does say about my wives if they all agree on one thing, and that is that they need to get away from this guy.
He's not that self-aware that he would recognize that, though.
He's actually a bit thick, because, you know, the thing that really, and I've mentioned this before, so I'll just say it quickly, but when he went on stream and waved the wedding ring in front of Cindy, who he thought was watching, Cindy, you blew it. Here's my new wife, Sandra.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know the most awful people that I know in the world wouldn't do that. They
No.
wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, I was surprised that Sandra stayed after he did that. What I would have done if I had been Sandra at that moment, I would have stood up, walked over to Kent, slap him in the face as hard as I could, and say, "You want Cindy? You go get Cindy. Bye-bye." That's what I would have done. I mean,
Storm out.
Yes, because it's a bit like that. Yeah, it was very
this
like
is the
that.
best way to show you your second choice. Do you want to be second choice?
Yeah. Cindy, you blew. This should have been yours. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's a shocker. Oh my God.
I mean,
That was
yeah,
pretty bad.
he has a way with women. Not the best way, but he has a way.
So that's why. Yeah.
No,
Deviant. Yeah.
not the way I would recommend anyone has as a prerequisite for whom they are going to spend their lives with.
Well, what are you saying? The Swedish way is better, is it? Running
Of
around
course.
outside naked with birch leaves and jumping in the sauna and straight into an ice pool. Yeah.
Have you been here, Claude?
I've just read about it. I've read about it.
Oh, it's
On
it's
some
very
channel
true, of course.
called what was the name of that channel? Bambi Conquers the World. Swedish episode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a movie I can recommend for you. It's called it's from the 70s. It's called The Fäbodjäntan.
Oh.
It involves a sausage.
And
Well, I'm not going to say anything more. You can Google. I can write it in
we
chat.
don't. I don't.
I mean, when I grew up, there were tons of movies about Swedish au pairs. So
It's
the
definitely
storyline was pretty much all the same for all of them.
In fact, you could play them backwards. It would still be the same in reverse.
Yes.
Well, there were those Swedish movies. I Am a Curious Yellow. Have you heard of that?
Oh, yes.
I Am a Curious Blue.
Yep. I am curious.
Those were famous in their day, 1967.
Yep. They're still. I don't know if you were to ask like the younger generation today. I'm not sure if they have seen it, but I mean, everyone knew of them in like the 90s when I was teenager and above.
Hey, Robin.
Hi, Robin.
They're kind of cult classics, but
Right.
also,
Well, they were groundbreaking.
yeah.
Bed breaking as well.
I mean,
for
that's
mine.
Yeah.
That's what Claude reminded me. I mean, the romping around naked in the woods and stuff.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Things are so different in different countries. I mean, we had movies about Swedish au pairs, and then we had Danish movies.
Oh
Oh.
no.
I'm pretty sure Deviant knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm afraid to.
As Deviant, have you ever worked as an au pair?
No.
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 Yes. A lot of young French ladies go work as au pairs to
Mm.
overseas.
Yeah,
Quite popular.
I have a cousin who did that in France.
Ugh.
Actually. Yeah.
A Swedish au pair in France. Now there's a movie.
Yep.
The next
There's a
thing,
movie.
Kent will be advertising, for a Swedish au pair to go and take care of him at DAL.
And if we can get a Danish producer, then we don't have to bother with clothes either. So
Daily massage optional, and of course he's already got the hot tub.
you say you're talking massage. So today in in the local newspaper. There was an article that there's something new in my old hometown. You can get a tickle massage.
Oh,
And that means that you go in there, you lie on the bed, completely naked, and a woman will tickle you with a feather, which reminded me.
that sounds like torture.
Yeah. Well, but do you know the difference between erotic? Because that sounds slightly erotic to me. So, but do you know the difference between erotic and perverse?
Of course.
Erotic is when you erotic is when you tickle with a feather. Perverse is if you use the entire chicken.
Now, Deviant Robin has put a question for you. The tragedy in Sweden, was that near you or somewhere else?
It's not near where I am now because I'm at Soot's place, of course.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But it's near to where I actually it's hard to say I actually live there because we're hiring a moving company, and we're going there in a week to pack up my apartment. Yeah. But yeah, it's close, and I do have I do know people in that city.
I haven't seen the news. What happened?
So there was a shooting at a school with adult pupils, people who has not attended years 10, 11, and 12 of regular schooling can do it in later life to like or they haven't done, maybe they have done it but not passed all of their classes, so they can go to this sort of school, and as far as we know, a man around 25 years of age killed 10 people, including himself, and it's the worst shooting in Swedish history.
Yeah, it is. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean I understand that many other countries has had it way worse. The US isn't the only country which have had mass shootings and that sort of thing. But as a Swede, you always feel very secure, even though it's been an uptick in gun violence since around 2016, 2017. Quite a massive one, but it's been between groups of like criminal gangs and you know they war with each other and so forth. But that's just like a senseless shooting out of nowhere.
In Europe, it's rare.
Yeah.
For something like that to happen. So
yeah.
in Germany, we recently had a few weird attacks on the German people, which were mostly knife attacks because and one guy drove through a Christmas fair.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
In my country, I can't even recall when we had someone shooting. That was several years ago. It happened with a Muslim, and the whole ISIS thing was still going on. But yeah, here it's really rare. Where it's in America, it's pretty much part of daily life.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And here the criminals have found something different. They're blowing up each other's houses with bombs made out of fireworks. So,
Yeah. Yeah, we've had, as I said, quite an uptick of that in Sweden, which is, as I said, very, very concerning. But at the same time, as a regular citizen, I and most people with me, we still we feel as safe as we've always done. And this type of thing kind of, it rattles us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As it still does a lot of people in the U.S. too, by the way. I mean, it's not that people have gone tone deaf on it.
Of course not.
Yeah. Now we have a question. Of course, the panel, the people are expressing their condolence and sympathy, which is very nice.
Yes,
there's also another question come up for the panel. What do you think Donnie at SFT dropped Kent as a platform?
Because he's afraid
the
to
debates upcoming.
Because he's afraid for his channel.
Yes, because if he were to platform Hovind, he would break the terms of service for YouTube, since he's been kicked off.
Oh, right. So has he? Kent was talking about doing something with him today. I don't know if he did, but that would be interesting. Yes.
Yeah, there's
because
no
he wouldn't want his
scheduled with
channel.
Kent.
Okay, well that's good. Because he was such a bottom licker, as they say, for Kent.
There's a reason.
I believe, yeah.
There's a reason. So when he lost his channel, he told people to show the atheists what's what and get him on other people's channel. That's a sign, because no one actually wants to have him on their channel anymore. He's becoming irrelevant.
Yeah.
Apart from a few people who still hate watch him, and
Proverbs guys, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know either. They haven't had him on in a while.
Yeah, they will. I mean, they do really love him. Proverbs guys do. They
Yeah, but do they love him enough to risk their channel? That's the thing.
That's the point, yeah. But like, if we were to get him on, it depends how much of a role he plays. I mean, a full-blown debate on standing for truth, full-blown being the operative word, is a bit different from having him half an hour on Proverbs guys. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know what the rules are.
Well, look at what happened to Steven Anderson when he debated Hovind. Didn't that channel?
Yep.
Something happened to that channel.
Oh yeah, they were.
Or that video got removed. Or they were kicked off, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but they got removed for more than one reason. So they are anti-vaxxers and COVID deniers and Holocaust deniers. So there are several reasons to get them kicked off of YouTube.
Sure, but
I'm not sure that did it.
Well, the timing was right after that debate.
Yeah, and I think
that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
Absolutely, but it's also, it is an offense that can get you kicked off. Though from what everything seems to be with YouTube, you have to, someone has to report it for it to be an issue. They don't seem to be monitoring these things very well.
So he did a Whack an Atheist episode about Sir Sick, and in that he went over some of the comments. he told one of the guys in the comments to go commit suicide.
Mhm.
And I reported that, and as far as I know, that channel's still up.
I'm not sure because he hasn't, from what I know, he hasn't been putting up material on YouTube for the last days,
Couple days,
weeks.
right?
Two or a couple of days. Yeah. No, he has within the 2 weeks. He's put. He had one called Kent,
Well,
and it has another name associated with it, didn't it? BBM. But
Yeah.
it's not in the last few days. Nothing happened there.
Atheist's worst nightmare. At Atheist's worst nightmare.
yeah, that's where the Whack and Atheist Sick is on to.
Mm. Gosh.
And I did mention it on in the chat on Ross channel. Someone mentioned Kent, and so I mentioned it in chat, and then they asked me for the link. I made a timestamp and posted the link. But several people have reported it, at least last Saturday. Multiple people have. But the channel's still up, and that's something I can't understand. I did get a message from YouTube that they were looking at the report I made, but
Also, it seems Kent used to brag about being an Eagle Scout.
Ego Scout or Eagle Scout?
I
Both.
think both. I think both. He scouts mostly for his own ego, though.
Yes, but it might be that his status as an Eagle Scout might be revoked because someone might have potentially told the scout, whatever they are called, scouting thingamajig, that he might not be qualified.
That's assuming he was an Eagle Scout to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. That was confirmed.
Oh, okay.
That was
So
confirmed, yeah.
he was telling the truth about that.
Yeah.
Justin has put up, there is another channel putting Kent stuff up called Husbands and Wives. And that's right. So if you do a search Kent Hovind and go to the latest, the most recent, there's a channel that put up 5 or 6 video of his old videos. So they're probably working with him to keep his stuff out there.
That's the name of the
Yeah, but-
channel, Husbands and Wives?
Yeah, yes. It's if you go on YouTube and search Kent Hovind, and then have you the choice of most recent comments rather than top comments, then you will see. Yeah, they put up 5 or 6 of his videos in a row, just straight copies. Yeah.
Maybe the reason that Kent hasn't been streaming on YouTube is that he's got what's it called? When you're not kicked off, the channel isn't removed, but you cannot stream because of violations.
A strike. Maybe he's got a strike.
Yeah, if he could have a strike, but is he posting on Rumble?
Yes. Yeah. That's it. And Justin has just confirmed he was posting Kent videos today, that husband and wife channel. And Billy says, I've seen that. Seems like they got hold of his Making Babies series. Yes, it's just copies of his Making Babies bollocks,
Yeah, so he did ask people to archive his videos and then post them on their channel.
Yes, but I don't know who would have kept that. I mean, that was after the channel had gone. So someone has to have given them husband and wives, unless they were that anal that they'd kept copies of his Making Babies series. I mean, never knows. People might.
I have some copies of it.
If you make a channel called Husbands and Wives, then you at least need Hovind's How to Make Babies.
Yeah. Were you using it for reference and research purposes, Big Bad Mama?
Yes. Yeah.
No, I mean, I have a bunch of his old videos copied.
Well, that's good. Yeah. Because you can
I've got
just take
enough
the worst
material
bits.
to last the rest of my
Like-
life, even after he dies.
Well, then the problem will
Not-
be who takes his place.
I was thinking if he hadn't posted anywhere, wasn't Sandra from New York or something?
No, Florida.
No, but I think she was originally from up north.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Peter's right.
Yeah.
She was from New England
Because-
somewhere.
Okay.
Because before they got married, he went there, and after they got married, he went there, and I think he mentioned that it was in New York State. Not in New York itself, but in New York State somewhere. So if he hadn't posted for a couple of days and then posted something, I had coffee with Sandra, I mean, that could be that he traveled there to see whether or not he could get her back. I don't know.
Yes.
Well, she was
that's
living in
what-
Florida, though, I think, because Kent went to get permission from her ex-husband, right? And he was in Florida.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we should post a comment on his channel saying, "Dear Kent, I'd like to marry Sandra. Could I have your permission?"
Your blessing.
Can I have your permission to get
I
that
mean-
thing that you no longer want? Can I mean,
I've been
how
talking
does
to
this work?
Sandra's pastor, and he said, "Don't let that one get away."
You could make a new account, Claude, and post that on his Rumble video.
I think you're the one to do that, Big Bad Mama.
I don't have an account on Rumble. I'm just able to copy the videos off of there, but I'd have to make one.
It's easy enough. Here we go. BBM, do you have the video where Kent admits his use of 6 cards of evolution
Ooh.
was just to piss off his opponents?
I don't. It doesn't ring a bell.
Maybe Billy might have that. Billy keeps some
It-
good records. If you see this,
he has
Billy-
said that in multiple videos that he keeps using that because it pisses off the atheists. So he said that more than once.
Interesting.
And so the reason I think he came up with that is because of his challenge. What was it back then? $500,000.
Right.
Someone put up,
Yeah. Something
and
like that.
so he made that challenge so no one could meet it, and that included the 6 stages of evolution,
Evolution, yeah.
which don't exist. So how would you get evidence for those?
Which is the
well-
point.
Well, ain't that swell? Says, I really am excited for Kent to get a mail order wife. Well, that's where Proverbs guys could come in handy.
Yeah, they've got an expert.
And if I bet Krista is thinking, shit, why the hell did I marry some goober from the man cave, Stephen, when I could have waited a month and married Kent?
Why did I marry the monkey when I could have had the organ grinder?
Yeah. Billy says he doesn't have a record of it, but he'll say it again, which is right, quite right. He'll say it again.
Yeah.
It's in ground, even if he's watching this, which I don't think he will. But even if he was, he'd still say it again because he can't help himself. He cocks up. Here we go. The mail order bride is. Didn't Matt Powell get his wife from a mail order? Well, she.
No, he met her in church.
Oh, he did. All right.
Yeah. They were introduced by Steven Anderson.
And funnily enough, she'd immigrated from another country, hadn't she?
Yeah.
But that was acceptable. But as long as you're acceptable to him, then it's fine.
Did she come from another country?
Yes, she does.
If Trump gets away with what he's planning, then Matt Powell will be single soon too, and childless.
He can marry Kent.
Yeah, and Stephen Anderson's wife, Sucks Banana, or whatever her name is from Germany. He met her there, but he then imported her back to. So under Trump, she should really piss off, shouldn't she?
Yeah.
Well, both of them should actually.
The sad part is someone on Twitter did a family tree of the Trump family and who should get deported and who shouldn't. I think there's only one daughter of Trump can stay. Everyone else needs to be kicked out. And they wanted to kick out Jared Kushner just because. I mean,
But how can one of his daughters be
because she
full-fledged
was so his first wife was Marla Maples, who was American,
No,
and he
his
got a
first
daughter
wife
with
was
her.
his first wife was Ivana. His second wife was
Oh, a second.
Oh, okay.
Marla Maples. And she's American.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Wait,
Yeah, they even
Ivana-
said they should
And they have a daughter,
they should
Tiffany.
dig up Ivana and deport her anyway, just to make sure.
Oh, I just realized his first wife's name is Ivana and his current wife is Ivanka.
No, Ivanka
No,
is
that's
his
his daughter.
daughter from Ivana.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of relationship do they have?
Pretty weird.
Well, not the one Trump wants. Because Trump wants to be able to have sex with Ivanka, and that's not allowed.
Ugh.
Kent's been begging to run the Department of Education, and Trump is about to get rid of that department. Kent is really so smart. He knows so much.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is he going to get rid of? Well, what will happen to schools if he gets rid of education?
Oh, they
department?
want to dissolve that. I think
they'll put it to
in
the state.
Indiana
Oh,
already has a law coming up where they want to dissolve public schools.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
believe me, not teaching evolution is part of their agenda.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great bunch of numpty, stupid people we will be teaching. It's just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're robbing them of having any real ability to be successful in the world when you rob them of a proper education.
Well, I would like any of Kent's previous students to contact me. I would like to interview you on my show and see where you ended up. And without being insulting to people who do work in fast food places, but they're probably saying, would you like fries with that as we speak? Because they wouldn't get any further. Now, that's not being insulting to people who, because we all go through different stages, we're all different abilities, but I can guarantee that the Kent's pupils, not one of them would have ever made a name for themselves. And it's sad.
In all fairness, today I gained a lot more respect for people working at McDonald's. I sometimes I like to watch these body cam footage channels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there was a
You
woman who pulled a gun on a McDonald's employee because she didn't get her free cookie.
Oh.
Not kidding.
Now, Billy has put a thing up. I did end up finding that weird video of Kent doing an online marriage with that one guy who runs a channel about smoking.
I saw that.
Could you
Yeah,
put that up?
I saw
Could you
that.
put that one up, Billy? Could you do that? Or
Put the link.
Yeah, either
Yeah.
put the link, or can you email it, or put it on your own channel? It would be wonderful to see that.
He married them on a live stream where he was in DL and the guy was at home.
What?
I saw that one.
Yeah, this is a good comment here. A positive that Kent has done. He showed a 5-year-old video screenshot from Bill Ludlow, and I'm currently binging Bill's stuff. Rest in peace to the legend,
Yeah.
Bill.
Yeah, he was
great. Yeah,
He was
he
great.
was really good. Yeah. So, yeah. We've now recognized, one person who's passed on, which is more than Kent has done for anybody who's helped him that's passed on. They're just dead, and that's it. He doesn't mention them again, does he? His vitamin guy. No, he died. Oh well, too bad. And
guy-
what Laszlo had the cheek the cheek to up and die when he was fixing one of Kent's vehicles.
He didn't finish.
Did you remember
fixing it.
that? Yeah, he didn't finish it because he died.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
just awful stuff, you know.
Mhm.
I wonder if people see that. I wonder if this Freddie and Manon or whatever, if they realize, and that's why they left. Yeah, who would know?
I mean, he doesn't care about that. The good thing his vitamin guy did was when Kent said that COVID wasn't a real thing. At least the guy did him the courtesy of dying of COVID, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah.
I mean, call him because COVID isn't a real thing. He has the cure. Yeah, and the guy with the cure died of COVID.
Oh,
Bad.
look at this. Justin says Eric pointed to a school as the origin of his porn addiction. I didn't realize that. And he was homeschooled by Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but I would love that to be correct.
I mean, it's still not as bad as Steven Anderson because his kids came out and said that dad was beating them with an electric cable and was beating his wife with the same cable.
Yeah,
and then and then Steven said, "What we do in our bedroom is nobody's business."
Yeah.
So wait a minute, this is your sex kink, and you're doing that with your kids too?
Kids, that's a very good point. Yeah, so he was getting off on it. He was getting off on his wife and his kids. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting. And yet these people, they make excuses. I mean, one of the things I really like to do is put up Kent tripping over his words about Brady, Byram, and Chris Jones. And one minute they're guilty, next minute they're not. One minute he's admitting it, then he's not admitting it. And then it was 40 or 50 years ago. And then he wasn't guilty, but he was guilty. It's really good. And yet the
or he was
dumb
guilty of a
supporters
little
don't
bit
see
of,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of fondling one of his own
Right.
kids.
Yeah, one of his own kids. Yeah.
Claude, can you put up that other message from It Ain't That Swell that you just took off?
Now, where's that one? Where?
The last one.
Okay, I'll go back. And then
People mention Arn. Yes.
yeah.
So as Arn's producer, I fully agree with that message because Bill Ludlow gave Kent Hovind an ass whooping I haven't seen before or since.
Yeah, it was good.
So really, we should be putting up some clips of him in his memory. Obviously, the channel's still there. Yeah.
Yes.
And he had to go
definitely.
through, after his death, his family had to go through some of these creationists smearing his name and smearing his name to his family and doing all sorts of really crappy stuff.
Sadly, the worst one wasn't a creationist. The worst one was an atheist.
Can you say who it was?
Yes, Steve McRae.
Oh. He went after Bill Ludlow?
Up until the very day Bill Ludlow died.
Is somebody crying on here? Or is somebody laughing?
Someone is laughing. Someone is very happy.
Are you being tickled by
Oh.
Stop that nonsense now.
I take it Soot woke up.
Yes.
See?
Good God. What's he say? Good morning, you rascals. Where is my other sock? Yeah, all I could hear is I wasn't sure if you were crying or not, or it was pleasure. You know, I was like, oh
I
my
was trying
God,
to
this is
be
not that kind
muted.
of show. Look, I'll do it for you. Oh, such, Daddy, good. Oh, God. I'm so jealous. No, I'm not. Robin says, no surprise, Steve is a horrible person.
Yeah.
Some of them, well, even sometimes, I'm just so sick of the crap I'm hearing. I was listening to Ghost's channel a bit later today, and Deviant was on, and Aiden was on, and maybe someone else. And it was the most intelligent conversation I'd heard on it. You know, there's some good people on there, but you have to get through all this, whether you love Mary or don't love Mary, and whether you're Orthodox or you're not, or you're a this, that, or the other, and it's horrible. So it's much more interesting. The atheists go fairness, on much more. Yeah.
In all fairness, I think they should do that a lot more, because the best way to show that your religion is a fake is when you argue about the book that is the infallible word of the Almighty God,
That's
which
true.
Isn't up for interpretation. So the more you fight over that,
they call it funding.
Yeah.
A fundy fight. Oh, that's a good term.
Yeah.
And if it's Chris Jones, it's Fundy and Undies fight, because he seemed to have a penchant for that.
If you go to Praise I Am's channel, that's literally the only thing they do there, fight over who's right.
Right. They always pick a scapegoat on that channel, whether it's Veckel or somebody else, or and then they'll be their friend for a while, and then they'll turn on him and make another show about him. It's really interesting.
Yeah. And now they've got this guy who calls himself the Dude, who's blissfully unaware that Dudism is a religion created to mock Christianity. And as an ordained Dudist minister, I know actually what I'm talking about. But they all have this Dudist glasses on now, and they have no clue what they represent. So, yeah.
Well, the other day, apart from being maths illiterate, on Dan's show, they were going on, him and Stephen, and they said, look, they got the age of the world wrong. And it's now gone on to 12 billion or whatever. I forget how many. But they confused it with the age of the universe. I mean, that's the degree of thickness of these people. I feel so sorry for the progeny, that has come from Boland's loins.
Claude, I need to thank you for that, because the funniest thing is that Stephen is claiming that, and then Dan says, I haven't seen that yet. I mean,
you can't make it up.
No. And then at the end, he asked, was it billions or trillions?
Yeah. That was he was quite serious about that.
Yes.
He has no concept what a trillion is. It just boggles the mind. And these people reproduce.
Yes.
I mean, it takes all sorts, so I don't really probably have a problem with that. But you'd think most parents want their kids to grow up with a thinking brain and educated. Yeah. These guys don't. They just want them to read the Bible. Robin says, did you hear me on there the other night?
I saw a little of it, Robin.
Yeah, a little, yeah. Yeah, because you've got to listen to a whole lot of other crap to get to the gold. That's the problem.
And I do it the best way. I just subscribe to Claude's channel, because he will pick out the gold and post it on his channel, so I don't have to sit there and get annoyed for an hour and a half with the
Big Bad Mama gets quite a bit.
I've ignored those guys for quite a while now.
But
except for Dan, and Dan is still going on about that song
good.
The
compilation.
Yeah, the compilation I made. Yeah. Him. I mean, he's still pissed about it.
He will be pissed with it forever and ever and ever, and he will never let it go. Just hear what he said to Aiden the other day when Gangster Ghost had a special stream with Dan.
Right.
And he immediately brings up what he said and he did to Aiden, and then blames him for it.
I just treat them now as it's a new term. I'd never heard of this before. A lull cow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's a wonderful term. And Proverbs guy, the whole channel is a great lol count. I tried to get him to condemn the flat earth nonsense and he wouldn't do it. And, because it's just, so why don't you speak up? You know that one of your channel members is just preaching false, flat earth to children. Oh, no, he wouldn't. Oh, it just weak.
I mean, if I'm going to watch Proverbs, guys, I'm going to miss out on the best titles. So far, my absolute favorite is Dan Bores the Asses Off of Bewildered Filipinos. I saw that and I thought, I need to go watch that.
They were bored.
They were. And then it goes on to the church and da 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 God is love. And it's awful, boring music, and they're waving these fronds around. Oh, it's just
but the expression of the Filipinos, you
Yes.
nailed the title.
They're like, when is lunch?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, because that's how they lure them in. You come and listen to Dan bore your ass off, and you get a free meal.
Yeah.
Maybe KFC or something. Who knows? From the American, and it's such a case of because he's an American, he must be good, he must be intelligent. And they got the worst person they could possibly get for that. But I've enjoyed my last couple of goes on with it because now I don't get too angry. I just laugh, which is quite fun. It's when I get angry is no good. So not good for
And
me.
Claude, since I'm here, I have to say I absolutely love the advice for Dan's next Philippines mission trip.
I've forgotten what it was. Yes. Yeah, that from that Barry Humphries. What's his name?
Yes.
Les Patterson. Yeah.
Les Patterson.
Did you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Les comes on and he shakes Michael Parkinson's interviewer's hand, and he's obviously got something on it. What's that? He said, it was an ointment. I meant to use an applicator, but I just gave myself a quick application before the show. And he says, but you'll be right on your next trip to the Philippines, eh? Dirty man. Because we all know what goes on in the Philippines. I'm not saying that Dan does that either, by the way, but since he's accused me of it in Singapore, he deserves what he gets, fool.
I love that. I mean, the fact that you can dig those things up. I wish I had that superpower.
I don't know. It just some things come to my memory. I've always liked the Australian sense of humor. They're rough as guts, but they're quite, they've got a twinkle in their eye too. And it's that is about 20 years old. It probably would be banned today. You wouldn't be able to say the things he says. And if you look at Sir Les's trousers, Yep.
But he also did this woman, Dame Edna,
Dame Edna
Right.
Everidge. Yeah.
That was one of my favorites growing up. Honestly.
He's so cutting.
I haven't seen this character, at least not on Dutch TV. Dame Edna was huge here in what was it, 80s, 90s, early 90s?
Yeah, and particularly the 80s. But Sir Les is the supposedly the Australian ambassador to the court of St. James, which means England, and he sits on a cheese board, and he's got all these women, and just stuff that's drooling out of his mouth. He's just a shocker. Yeah. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I really like that. I hope that Dan is looking at that and taking some advice.
Well, so Les, I think he was the first person to use the term map of Tassie to refer to a particular area on a woman. And he says, for those that are unaware, he says, Tassie is Tasmania. It's a triangular-shaped continent, and it's a bit bushy. He's terrible. I don't approve of any of that, of course. So yeah, Robin came on to talk about Dan when she went on the show to talk about Dan claiming that evolution says mutations are random, and that's where I'm let down a bit. I can't argue about those things myself, so it's good that other people can. Yeah.
Well, mutations are random, but the
It's the
selection
natural
process
selection
isn't.
that's not.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So I get out of my depth on that. I mean, he's just regurgitating what he's read
Dan
on a
only says
creationist site.
mutations. He never says anything about like natural selection or sexual selection or genetic drift or anything like that. To him, it's all mutations, and he kind of uses the definition of mutation like a 1950s sci-fi.
Oh, and good morning to you too.
Hello.
Hey, so what are you doing? What are you doing? Because we could hear it.
Yeah. Don't turn your camera on accidentally. I don't want to be banned.
Claude säger att han kommer att bli banned om jag råkar sätta på kameran.
She's going to start speaking Swedish too, so we don't know.
I'm going to work, so no time for that.
Yeah. I don't believe you.
Just cuddling.
Robin says they are probabilistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Swedes at this time of year, they would have the excuse, well, I was snowed in. I had to free my car from the snow, so I'm a little late. So
I'm saying nothing.
No, see. No, so to get back to Robin's comment, I don't want to talk about evolution anymore with creationists, and when they want to talk about it, will be very polite in telling them that I can't explain why the stork theory of birth isn't a real thing anymore. I mean, that's the equivalent of arguing evolution versus creationism.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, folks, I think we might call it quits because it's turning a bit blue over in Sweden, from what I can tell. But that's not the real reason,
You might call it quits. The Swedes are just starting.
Exactly. Well, I think we'll leave them to their whatever jiggery packery, and
take care, everybody. Good to see you.
Yeah, so I'll say goodbye. Have a nice evening, Deviant. Have a nice evening, Peter. And Big Bad Mama, are you planning another trip for a field trip in the woods? What do you call it? The mountains? Big Bad Mama?
I go hike like every other day.
Yeah. Well, I get told to take a hike, but I don't often do it.
I get told that every day, and I don't. But so, Big Bad Mama, any conversations with Kent coming up?
What's that, Peter?
Any upcoming conversations with Hovind? Hi, Soot.
I don't think Hovind's going live with conversations anymore.
No,
because
I don't know if
keep
Rumble
coming on.
I don't know if Rumble
asking about Sandra.
Does Rumble do live streams or?
Yes, you can stream
Rumble
straight from StreamYard. Yeah. That's not a problem.
But I don't think he's taking people on there. But I think he's scared to at the moment. Robin is saying,
they kept asking him about Sandra. He can't afford that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to try, Robin.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin. Are you coming to KY Jelly? Is it? What? KY?
Kentucky.
What's that mean? Ah, sorry. I thought, what the hell? Well, we're just leaving. We're just leaving Berius. Unfortunately, we'll come on another night. Yeah, because we've done our sort of quite a while, but good to see you too. And get on to Rumble.
Hold on. If you're saying you can come on another night, I want to reply, but I won't. I will keep it clean.
Oh, all right, keep it clean.
I will keep it clean.
Okay, so good night, everybody, and see you again another day. Okay, thank
Night,
you.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Robin, too.
Bye.
Bye.